I really appreciate his efforts. Now, we are also planning for our annual day. We'll be informing you today. We have a ESCO meeting after this. So we'll be contacting you, or we'll be informing you all the days and the programs shortly. Most probably it will be on the 18th of this month. We have some guests today. Let me call Mr. Suryakant. Suryakant, appreciate if you can unmute your microphone and introduce yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I don't know whether you're able to see me, but there is some. I have two screens.
We can
Anyways,
see you.
yeah. Good evening, everybody, and nice to see you all. Myself, Suryakant Baswa, and do you want me to introduce? I don't want to interrupt your session today.
You can have a 1-minute introduction.
Yeah. So basically, I am from a small place, Hubli, Karnataka, and I have been in Saudi Arabia since 5 years now, and I'm into, my career is basically into investments and new business development, and here I work with National Shipping Company in Olaya. I'm married with 2 kids, and that's in short. I will not take much time. That's a short introduction. Nice to see you all here. But I attended few sessions as a guest previously 2 years back, but due to Corona, I couldn't continue, and I was in India. So I came back before Corona, and happy to join again.
Thank you so much, Suryakant, and welcome to TAJ Toastmasters. Our VP membership Toastmasters Jija will be in contact with you to give you all information. Now we have another guest, Mr. Mimisal Noor Muhammad. Appreciate if you can have a short introduction.
Good evening to all. Myself Noor Muhammad. I am from Tamil Nadu. I am working at Alphanar Electrical Company at New Industrial Area. I am very happy to hear this type of high-level voice from your experts. Inshallah, I want to develop my all the level talented through the TAJ Toastmaster Club. Thank you for this opportunity. I will watch you, inshallah, and very soon I will join with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining, and you are in one of the best clubs in District 79. As I told earlier, our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Jija Kosi, will be in contact with you to give you all the information. So I'll not take much of my time today because we have a lengthy session. Before we start, let's congratulate the last meeting winners. Best speaker, Toastmaster Neetu Ramesh. Best table topic speaker, DTM Johnson Samuel. Best evaluator, Toastmaster Abdul Nasir. Best meeting leader, Toastmaster Muhammad Mateen. And best of big three, Toastmaster Jija Kosi. Dear Toastmasters and guests, let's give them a big round of applause. So let's start with the education session. Before that, we'll learn a new word. To introduce the new word, we have an eminent Toastmaster. Let me welcome Toastmaster Abdul Nasir to introduce the word of the day. Toastmaster Abdul Nasir, the virtual stage is yours.
Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, a warm good evening to all. For today's meeting, the word is evolve, which means to develop gradually. An example of using the word is, I evolved as a better speaker after joining TAJ Toastmaster. Second one, TAJ evolved as the #1 club in District 79. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I shall report on its usage when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to the presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abdul Nasir. As you rightly said, we all evolved as leaders and speakers because of TAJ Toastmasters. Thank you so much. And today, before I introduce the presiding officer, I have a request to all the Lord players. Please make sure that you stick on to your timings because we have more speeches today. Make sure that you know your time. It's in the agenda. Do not exceed that timing. And to conduct today's session, we have an eminent Toastmaster. I know this Toastmaster since 2005. We worked together in Dubai airport. He is working as a safety professional in ThyssenKrupp elevator company. And he is a real servant leader, a person highly committed and who is responsible, and he makes sure that whatever role he achieves, he fulfills it with dedication and commitment. Let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shijamon Jose, to conduct today's session. Toastmaster Shijamon, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, for such a generous introduction. I'm humble. The challenge of change is the energetic theme selected for this evening in our virtual meeting. What was your last change in your personal or professional? What was your last change? How do you face it? Was it challenging to you? Just keep in your mind that be always open. Be ready for the changes. Be ready to accept the challenges. I will quote that there are no negative in life, only changes to overcome that will make you stronger. The quote from Eric Bates. Without challenges, without change, you cannot be stronger. No matter personal or professional life. In my life, when I got transfer from UAE to KSA, I still remember that day when the HR informed me that, Shijamon, you got the chance that you can work in KSA. My God, I totally disappointed because for us, we heard not a real story. We don't know anything about KSA. Totally disappointed. I think about that, how can I avoid this change? I was not ready to evolve myself. I am started to communicate with the top management. I just informed through officially, personally, I just tried to communicate. But this news got our project director. One day he called me, please come to my cabin. Then he tried to explain himself. And I get an encouragement. He told that this is the time to change. Come out from your comfort zone and select the new way. That is the challenge you need to take. If it does not challenge you, it does not change you. Finally, I took that challenge and joined Riyadh. That challenge rewarded me a lot. Recently, I got promoted and now I am the head of the department in that project. Thank God for that chance. This is only because of the encouragement from my project director. Change is the nature of life, but challenge is the future of life. I will repeat that. Change is the nature of life, but the challenge is the future of life. So challenge the changes, never change the challenges. This quote by our famous actor, Amitabh Bachchan. Now, we will move to our agenda and we will discuss more in future. Before, let me verify with the VP Education if there is any changes in agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good evening. There are just two, there is no change as per in the agenda, but there are two corrections in the agenda. One is regarding the timing of Toastmaster Manaz al-Bukhari's speech. It is not 5 to 7 minutes, it is 8 to 10 minutes. Timer, please note, Toastmaster Manaz al-Bukhari's speech will be 8 to 10 minutes. So, and for Toastmaster Jijo Koshi, the speech timing is 10 to 15 minutes and not 12 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, the agenda is as good as this one.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. For the benefit of the guest, I will explain what we will do today in the meeting. Normally, there will be 3 segments, but today we have only 2 segments. First one is prepared speech and second one is evaluation. The prepared speeches, this is a part of this program for members who have worked several days in their speeches as per the project criteria and manual. Today, we have 6 speakers are lined up for delivering their wonderful speech. In evaluation, in this part of this program, all that we do in the meeting is evaluated and provide instant feedback in a positive, so that the speaker looks forward to speak again. Apart from that, the general evaluator will provide the evaluation of the entire session. Every successful program requires the assistance of several Toastmasters. We have some leaders tonight who will helping to make this meeting a success. You have already met the word master. Next meeting leader, I will call our counter, Toastmaster Sunil Idikula. Could you please explain the role for today?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as crunch or post filter by anyone who speaks during the meeting time. I will listen for all used words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for the filter sounds, including and ir. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of the time that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Idikula. Our grammarian for today is Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal Qasim. Could you please explain your role?
Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage, and to encourage and commend good use of language by speakers and other meeting participants. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal Qasim. Next, our team meeting leader is timer. The time is very precious. We need to be followed very strictly. Today, our timer is Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam. Will you please explain the role?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome the guest. Pleasant good evening. and all. Today, my role as a timer is to keep time for all the speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within their allotted time slot. This will also help to ensuring that the meeting runs time. To help me do this, I have 3 digital colored cards with me: green, amber, and red. For example, in prepared speech, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Speech, I shall raise the green card at the 5th minute, and the amber card at the 6th minute, and red card on the 7th minute. All the speakers and evaluators have a grace period for 30 seconds either side of the specific time limit. I will prepare the reports and present my reports when called upon the Toastmaster of the day. All the very best to all the speakers. Back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam. Now, the next leader is the vote counter. The vote counter, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. Please explain your role.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, as the vote counter, I'll be helping you select the best speaker, the best evaluator, the best meeting leader, and the best of big three. I shall be sharing you the voting link, which will be through Google Forms at the end of each session when the particular role player calls for the voting. And you can vote or select the best speaker, meeting leader, or evaluator, or best of big three, whom you feel has performed his role to the best of their abilities. I shall not be voting until and unless there is a need to break a tie. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. Now, all the leaders are ready for the great meeting. Are you ready for the meeting? Okay, now our Toastmasters are changing to the great speakers now. In the prepared speech, now we are moving to the prepared speech. Today we have 6 amazing speakers. Before calling upon the first speaker, we will ask the project criteria from the evaluator of this speech. The evaluator is Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam for the first speech. Could you please explain the objective of the project?
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Toastmaster. My speaker today is going to present his level 1 project 3 from presentation mastery path. And this project is about researching and presenting. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundar. Our first speaker is very energetic and let's say a new Toastmaster in our TAJ club. But I don't want to invite him as a new Toastmaster because I feel that he's a complete speaker and very energetic. And the interesting thing is he is member of other 2 clubs. That's showing his dedication and passion of Toastmastering. Currently, he is working as an operations training lead in Dunkin' Donuts KSA. This speaker is hotel management graduate with 12 years of experience in abroad. His other clubs are Falcon Toastmaster and Diplomatic Toastmaster Club. Let me welcome Toastmaster Mohammad Shakir. Let's give him a loud round of applause.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Can I have the access to share my screen?
You can share now.
Thank you. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a warm good evening. As it is a research speech, I took the source of a book called The First 20 Hours How to Learn Anything Fast by Josh Kaufman. In this speech, I would like to share with you how I applied all the principles of effective learning throughout my life. I started my public speaking projects by researching all the relevant aspects and topics. Before I jump in over my head to sign up to join Toastmasters, I make sure I experience all the aspects of Toastmasters beside delivering a speech. I took roles during the meetings in Toastmasters, and all the Toastmaster roles helped me to develop my skills that is important for public speaking. Timer helps me to track the time or be sensitive to time when I deliver the speech. Grammarian helps me to groom my listening skills and good usage of English. Over the last few months, I developed deeper understanding of public speaking terminology, such as clarity, vocal variety, etc. I work with my mentors like Toastmaster Manaz Al-Bukhari, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam to set up realistic expectations for myself. If I don't have too much of distractions, I hopefully complete my presentation mastery pathways in a short period of time. I hope. By using spaced repetition and reinforcement helps me to memorize things better. I draw mind maps of all the relevant skills to connect the public speaking. Now comes the most important part. The true test of useful learning is prediction. Prediction is so important that is adapted to a teaching strategy called POE, prediction, observation, and explanation. I am experimenting with my tone. I am playing with my tone as a prediction. In many ways, variations to try and see how I will do, how it will work if I do this or do that. And I need to make prediction before I do it. So I am playing with things like dramatic pause, chuckles, haha. And the 10th final point in the effective learning is about respecting your biology. Respecting your biology means you can take a break whenever you need. Now, it seems like I am very much looking for shortcuts all the time. Well, yes or no? Have you heard there are no shortcuts to life? Well, my quote is, critical thinking is a shortcut to life. When you master in critical thinking, you will came to know how to learn better and how to live better. Critical thinking is an ability to think clearly and rationally on what to do or what to believe. It's about being an active learner rather than a passive recipient of information. A critical person who lacks critical thinking will believe like drinking alcohol will help me or improve my immune system, or help me from COVID-19. But people with critical think, they will never believe such things. In Toastmasters, I own my critical thinking skills through table topics. Do you remember the key takeaway from my last speech was how to stay calm? And now today's key takeaway, I hope you remember, is prediction. Prediction will help you to improve the quality of your speech. And with critical thinking, you can able to learn even better. Now, let me end my speech with a quote from Henry Ford. Anyone who stops learning is an old man, whether it is 20 years of age or 80 years of age. But anyone who keeps learning is still young. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Shakir, for the wonderful speech about prediction. Now, we will move to the second speech. Before that, the real winners in life are the who took at every situation with an expectation that they can make it work or make it better. This quote from Barbara Fletcher. With that, we will move to the second speaker. Before calling the second speaker, let me call the evaluator of this speech. This speech will be evaluated by another passionate Toastmaster Hassan Hussain. Could you please explain the objective?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My speaker today, he is going to present his project from Persuasive Influence, that is level 3, project 2, Connect with Storytelling. The purpose of this project for a member is to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is in a story. The member may use any type of a story, personal, well-known fiction, or one of his own creation. The title of his speech is My Favorite Game, Badminton. The timing will be 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain. This speaker, our second speaker, I know him from the court, badminton court, and from Toastmaster clubs. He is a passionate Toastmaster, of course, logistic and supply chain professional, working as a branch manager at Freight World Logistic, Riyadh. He's a management graduate and ardent reader. So we can expect so many things in this speech. Married and father of 3 lovely kids, is none other than Toastmaster Mohammad Mateen. Let's give him a loud round of applause.
Thank you very much for that generous introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
The challenge of change. The challenge of change is the subject today. The challenge of change is the subject today, given the pandemic. We have to evolve our immunity. What best than having a physical sport? For today's speech, my story is my favorite game, badminton. Badminton is a game which probably everyone has played while being a kid. So did I. When I was an 8-year-old, my parents gave me the rackets. And we started playing there in front of the home. And then we had a club in the neighborhood. We had a lot of boys together. And the best part is, the most nostalgic one is that we moved the entire court onto the front of a beautiful house with 6 beautiful chicks, the ducklings we call them. I hope my wife is not online. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Or else I would be a chicken soup when I go home. Jokes apart, I came to Saudi Arabia. I never got time to play badminton unless my kids grew from to the age of 8. Then when I got out of my business, I thought it's the best time to spend with my kids is to play badminton. I started looking for a club, and then I found out Indian Badminton Club. It was a massive club with 7 courts and very beautifully furnished. And the best part, we had coaching for kids as well as for the elders. I immediately joined the club. It was a very hectic thing to do in a weekend, to wake up the kids in the morning and then drive them towards the club. But once we are in the car, it was the best moment. We used to talk about the game, and then we used to go and play the game. As we played the game, as the kids were playing and we are also playing, we started to see the evolution in my kids, the mentally and physically, they were growing. I could see the stamina growing in them. I could see that they were more diet conscious. They had the stamina to play more. And it was a very, very wonderful thing to do when you play game with the kids. We never wanted to tell them that they should be what they should be eating, what they're not. They never liked pizzas or anything, but they loved eating diet food as told by their coach. So my fellow Toastmasters, I would always suggest you put your kids on and playing badminton. Badminton is a game which is mostly played indoor because the racket, the cork is very sensitive to the air and it moves out when there is a lot of wind. So it is suggested to play it indoor. It is played with 2 people or 4 people with 2 rackets or 4 rackets and 1 shuttlecock. It is a game of 21 sets, 2 sets and 21 points. Every person in the team must make sure that the cork does not fall on the floor, and he gives it back. The person who leaves the cork, the opposite party gets a point, and he gets to serve. The badminton, I love badminton because this is a game, which helps you get out of your frustration. It is only you and the shuttlecock and no one else. The entire frustration is gone when you're at the court. It exercises your brain. It takes, as I started, Dmitry Medvedev said that those people who play badminton take decisions fast. You have to make fast decisions on that. It helps the vertigo. It helps exercise the eyes. It helps exercise the lungs. The most important thing in this pandemic is that you do shallow breathing, but 80% of your lungs is shallow. So it activates your lungs, and that helps you boost your immunity. So this helps you boost your immunity as well. In today's world, most of the people are grinded to a work schedule, work from home, live with work. Okay, now it's time that we leave our work and we leave our computer and gadgets and come out of it and go to the court and play with our families and friends and enjoy the game. enjoy the game, live the life, have a healthy life. With this, I would like to say, I would call all of you to take an action and be the member of the club. Having said that, being the member of Indian Badminton Club, it also helped me to get in touch with one of our friends, Dr. Mahesh Pillai, who, along with Nandu Kotarat, Shijuman Jose, and others, called me to Toastmasters. And that is where our family of badminton moved on to the Toastmastering. My dear friends, had it not been to the badminton, maybe I would not have been in Toastmasters as well. As the saying goes, if we dare to win, we should dare to lose. So my dear friends, please dare to win, come out of your couch potatoes and be in the game. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammad Mateen, for the wonderful speech and reminding us about the old, means not old, the previous our badminton life in IBC. But unfortunately, because of pandemic, I didn't rejoin. Anyway, we will think about that. Forget the old way and select the new way. Take the challenge and evolve your life to a new level of achievement. With this, we will move to the third speech. This speech is a special speech for the DTM project. This speech will be evaluated by another Toastmaster, Toastmaster Manas Al-Buhari. Could you please explain the objective of this project?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shijamohan. The member completing this project is working towards achieving his Distinguished Toastmasters Award. The member is contributing a great deal of time and effort to complete a project that benefits any organization for that matter. The member will deliver a well-organized, well-executed speech about the plan to complete the project of his design. The member may speak for the plan or share an aspect of the plan. The member should also be introducing his vision in this plan. I wish him all the very best, and the speech title is Strategy to Survive. Back to you, TM Modi.
Thank you, evaluated Toastmaster Manas Al-Buhari. Now, our third speaker is a dedicated Toastmaster. Professionally, he is certified management account from IMA USA and associated member of ICWI, working as a financial planning and analysis manager in Pasham Group of Companies. Current Area 6 Accounts Manager and Secretary of TAJ Toastmaster Club. Past 8 years living in Riyadh with a wife and 2 kids. I wish all the success for this project. Let me give warm round of applause to our third speaker, Toastmaster Nandu Kotarat. Toastmaster Nandu.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and my dear friends, a warm good evening to you all. In 2020, March, I think no one will forget For us, the beginning of 2020 was very happy. We achieved the sales of 35% more than the last year. The 2 months completed, the beginning of first week, identified the first case of coronavirus. In March 9, we went for partial lockdown. And immediately on 24th of March, we moved to the complete lockdown. We are mainly dealing with our office stationeries and school stationery. 80% of our portfolio is mainly relating to the schools. Our sales dropped down to 10%. We all are upset. All our employees become panic. They don't know what they have to do. All are expecting their termination. At the same time, management was also upset. There are a lot of commitments. There are a lot of suppliers open orders. Very tight cash flow. Threat of overstock, and there is no collection. How they can move forward? Especially, our season will start on July, and in between there is a small season that is small school mini back to school season. It will start on April. That is mainly Asian schools. So we ordered all our stock product to be ready 6 months before. All the orders are on the pipeline. Anytime it will reach into our warehouse. We are stuck. Management called urgent meeting. All the direct board members, CEO, and CSSO, and they invited me to attend this meeting. They asked me how we can overcome from these challenges. You have to work out, you have to prepare a strategic plan and submit to the board of directors. They told me to manage the business without affecting the employees. They don't want to terminate any employees from our company. They asked me, if you want, you can think about diverse our business. So improve the mission. I make the mission as improve the revenue through diversification of business. I had a discussion with all the department managers and I prepared a strategy for that. I make it in a 3-way. First one is stopping the bleeding, then the stabilizing the business and implement the new diversification. Stopping the bleeding, mainly we find out the unnecessary things or can be the things that can be postponed to the future. I stop all the payment for that. I identified how much grants we will get from the government, how much support from the bank to postpone our loans. And we start negotiate with all the suppliers and the banks for better payment terms or restructuring the loans. I contacted with our marketing team and stopped all the order that was a short term. And we developed the restructuring plan, how to restructure our cash flow. Then the next phase was implementation. We discussed with our marketing team and sales team how we can diversify business and diversify our portfolio. I prepared a detailed strategic report and I submitted to the management. The management was satisfied and they asked me, go ahead with this project and lead this project as a project manager. I accepted and I built a team. As all of you know, without team, we cannot do anything. Our strength is our team. So when I take the team, I was very careful because every member should be proactive. We have two marketing managers, that is group 1 and group 2. Then I took all the sales managers from each countries. At the same time, we took the logistic coordinators and the contact people who was directly dealing with the suppliers. We had a great team and we start our implementation. Now, you want to know how I succeeded? Do you want to know what are the challenges I face in this? Yes, definitely. I will share with you with the next speech. As Hubert Mitani said, diversification and globalization are the key to the future. So dear fellow Toastmasters, we have to be diversified either in our business or our personal things based on the circumstances. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandu, for the great speech about the growth of your business, your project. We don't grow when things are easy. We don't grow when we face challenges. Quote by Joyce Nemeyer. Take the challenges and evolve your life. Our fourth speaker is going to deliver from Pathways Level 3, Project 3. And this speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Karunakaran. Toastmaster Karunakaran, could you please explain the objective of this project?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, my speaker objective is, this project is for the member to practice and developing a communication plan. The topic is communication to change, communicate to change, communicate to evolve. Timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karunakaran. Our fourth speaker is an enthusiastic leader, speaker, and currently Vice President of Education of TAJ Toastmaster Club. Is a champion speaker in club, division, area in public speaking. Professionally, he is an associate consultant in oral surgery at King Saud Medical City, Riyadh. Let's give him a warm round of applause to our fourth speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam.
It was the year 2002. I was doing my internship at the College of Dentistry in Chennai. We had a great workshop where a famous private dental practitioner in Chennai, my birthplace, was giving us tips how to start up a practice and run it successfully. One thing that he told me and still strikes upon to my mind is talk to your patient empathetically. They are not a set of teeth who are coming to you with a complaint, but they are a whole person whom you have to communicate efficiently to relieve them of their pain, agony, suffering, whatever may be. Fast forward 2 years. In 2004, I set up my first dental clinic in Chennai. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the evening, good evening. You might be wondering what this guy is talking about setting up a dental clinic and communication. Well, a clinic is not just an area where dental service is provided, but it is also an area where a business is being run. I had really taken into my mind that I have to communicate to all my patients empathetically. Within the first 6 months, my clinic was doing the best business in that locality. But you know, times are always changing. In 2005, when I completed my master's and I was busy to get into full-time dental clinical practice, I was surprised to know there were so many clinics that mushroomed all around my clinic. I was able to retain my old clientele, but no new patients. What was happening? Was I wrong in my treatment? No, I was qualified enough. Was I not talking to them properly? Well, in that case, I should be losing my dedicated and old clientele, but that did not happen too. The lack of key communication strategies is what that did not let my clinic grow. As Sarah Karstad said, life can only be understood backwards, but it needs to be lived forwards. By the time I understood that I was not doing an effective communication to attract more patients into my clinic, it was probably too late, and I made other decisions to move out of India, and I came to Saudi Arabia. Fast forward 10 years. In the last 10 years, I never had the opportunity to go and cajole or advertise or market or campaign my clinical practice to anybody because I was working in a government setup. All that I had to do is any patient who walks into me, hello sir, how are you? What's your problem? And I treat them accordingly. I never went out of my way to advertise myself or do anything to bring in more patients. But then I had a great opportunity to learn how communication can change things, how communication can evolve for the better. So this happened after I joined Toastmasters. The first incident that helped me realize how communication is important is when I took up the position as an event chair for the annual day 2019. My team had efficient people, but initially I was a bit reluctant to reach out. I was hesitant. If I tell this Toastmaster that he has to do something related to logistics, will he do it? Will he mistake me? And then this hesitation started becoming a sense of procrastination. But one point of time, it had to be done because the deadline was nearing, the event was nearing. So all that I had to do was go and tell. Luckily, that event went on successfully. That was indeed a great lesson that I learned, that I should never hesitate. I should never procrastinate, and I should reach out when I think that I should communicate. Next time, when I had a similar opportunity, I did not let it go. And this time, it was an ex-com position, probably the most responsible position that has the greatest weightage in the club after the president, which is that of the vice president, education. So my goal in hand was to make sure that our club gets the distinguished club points at the earliest possible time. So what was in hand? I had to get 6 points that is possible through the education awards. And I had to make sure that as many members in our club had achieved as many education awards as possible before the end of the program year. And I also had a challenge, which was we had an online program and never knew when we will be meeting face to face. Yet again, the lesson that I learned as an event chair. So here I had to communicate. I had to reach out to every member of the club, encourage them, make them enthusiastic to go forward and do their projects. So I did not hesitate this time. I did not procrastinate. And I made sure that there is a free flow of communication, whether it is through WhatsApp, messaging, calls. I also made it a point that there has to be a constant reminder to all the members that they have to be involved in the project process. That is when the club grows all as a whole. So I created a WhatsApp broadcast group so that a message can be sent across to all the members. And then I created an Excel sheet Google Forms, using Google Forms, so members can know where they stand, who is their mentor, what they can do, and also they can also target their progress, what role they want to take, whether they want to be a speaker this week, whether they want to be an evaluator. Of course, there were challenges. There is never any process in this world that we take up is without challenges. But we need to change, we need to evolve, and the key process in that one is communication. So here and again, I don't say whatever I did, whatever I learned after being the event chair, whatever I did as the Vice President of Education is probably the best thing or was the most successful thing. As I always say and believe, success is not the destination, but rather the journey towards what you want to achieve. In the words of Steve Jobs, you cannot always connect the dots forward. You will always realize that the dots connect always backwards. Keep moving on. The future will show the way. Connecting the dots backward, probably if I had an exposure as such as this, as I have to do it in Toastmasters, if I had this experience when I was running a clinic, probably I might have evolved with some new communication strategies that changed the way I did a practice. Probably I might not be standing here, but rather standing at a different Toastmasters club somewhere in the world. But better late than never. I believe if, God forbid, I have to go back to India and start up my practice, I'm sure I can apply these skill sets to communicate, to change, to evolve. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, for the wonderful speech. Teacher can change the life with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. The words from Joyce Meyer. With this, we will move to the fifth speaker. He is going to deliver the second speech of his DTM project. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai. Could you please explain the objective of this project?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My speaker is going to deliver his second speech in his DTM project. The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his or her skills as a leader and a public speaker. The purpose of this second speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience completing the project. The speech title is Recognition to Rewards, and the speech timer, please note, it's 8 to 10 minutes. All the best, my speaker, Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai. About this speaker, is a multi-talented leader, a spontaneous speaker. Professionally, he is training manager of Dunkin' Donuts KSA, current BPPR of TAJ Toastmaster Club, and assistant Area 6 Director Program Quality. He is living in Riyadh with his parents, wife, kids. Let me welcome this Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari. Wish you all the best.
Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So let's all be kind, encourage others and motivate them whenever you get an opportunity. This is exactly my DTM project. Recognitions to rewards. When I first introduced an instant recognition concept in my organization, Dunkin', I was so excited. I was so happy. I used to write small chits of cards saying that you are awesome. And I used to give these cards to a lot of people. One day, I was walking by and I saw my signed card lying down with a lot of stamp marks. I felt bad. I thought maybe recognition doesn't have any value. My boss was correct. It is those rewards which people are more concerned about. Maybe a good job or a signed piece of paper is of no value to them. When I inquired more, I researched more, I understood that I used to be recognizing very often. That means my signature cards were with a lot of people. Even if with a smile, I used to tell, wow, what a fantastic smile, keep it up. And I used to sign and give. Maybe they would have held a lot of cards with them, maybe one or two missed out. I really wanted them to start collecting these cards out of passion, the same like I do. I once had told my boss that even if you don't give me salary, I will work if you say good job. You know, one good job is 1 month mileage for me. If somebody tells me that, Manaz, you did a great job, it's a great motivator. I am a person like that. I'm sure many of you are like that. Many Toastmasters are like that for sure. And that is the entire agenda why I kept on thinking. And when this happened that, okay, I have to do a DTM project, something very unique, I started thinking about it since last year. And that is the entire purpose of coming up with this recognition card, which we implemented. So when I say, dear Shijomon, thank you for introducing me with so much of excitement. This U card is for you. And when I give this U card to Shijomon, what is it that he will have in his hand is 100 point from Toastmaster Manaz. He will start collecting these points, and when he achieves certain points, he can give those cards by tearing off this small slit and give that to me and collect a reward. So this recognition becomes a collection, and end of the day, he will get a reward. This enables a lot of my signatures to be safeguarded in the wallets, in the heart. That is exactly my DTM project. And when I submitted this plan to my boss, he was super excited. He said, Manaz, go ahead. He provided me a fund of 10,000 Saudi riyals initially. And he said, let's see when it gets exhausted so that I can release the next amount. Believe me, it is 4 months and the money is still intact and the awards are still in my cupboard. There are few people who, when they go to India or to their hometowns, come with all the cards and collect the gifts. I am also excited. A lot of people took pictures with me when they collect the gifts. End of the day, my DTM project worked very well. I would like to share a story of a Toastmaster who started this journey on a day when he was called for a table topic. He was called onto the dais and the topic was given. He fumbled for words. His lips started getting dry. He was not able to talk. Finally, he stood there for 1 minute. And when the green light signaled, he walked down with his head down. But what he saw was a standing ovation from a lot of people. A lot of Toastmasters gathered out there, patted on his back and said, Toastmaster Abdul Nasir, what a fantastic bravery you are displayed. Standing there for 1 minute needs a lot of courage. He got excited. Now, he have made videos where more than 11,500 views. He is a chairman of Learn the Quran Masters Club, where he preached what he has learned in Quran. He's a great talker, great speaker. And this motivation comes from the recognitions which Toastmasters have given. But why did I tell the story? For a starter, yes, recognitions are very important. Now, if I go and stand there as a DTM in a stage, and if I could not complete a speech, do you think that recognition is going to happen? No. But my motivation will be the rewards which I get. My motivation will be the rewards which I will aim in this Toastmastering. The reward of DTM pin, which I will hang here along with these little bit pins, which I decorate on my suit. That is the motivation for each Toastmasters. So when we start from a recognition, that could be for a beginner, but what keeps us moving is those pricey rewards which we get from Toastmasters. I would love to decorate my shelf like Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh has decorated his shelf with a lot of Toastmasters awards and recognitions. Even within this 2-year span, what I have learned in Toastmasters is never stop recognizing, never stop giving rewards. You should go ahead with a lot of passion, enthusiasm, recognize, and recognize. Give away a lot of rewards. That step from recognition to rewards is the mindset change which you will bring around in our fellow team members, in our fellow colleagues. Let me tell you a very small story which I heard today. A king had an elephant. This elephant was the favorite war elephant of this king. Whenever he go for war, he takes this elephant along with him. As years passed by, the elephant grew old. It was not able to perform to its best of the capability, but it was so strong. The king still loved his elephant and told his ministers not to take the elephant for the war, but to keep on his garden, to give him a free walk. The elephant started walking every day, here and there, roaming around, seeing the places, and he was always king's favorite. One day during the evening stroll, the elephant got stuck in a muddy river. As soon as it realized that it was too late for him to come out, it was not able to come out and it was sinking. A lot of people gathered hearing the elephant's cry. But the elephant was not able to come out and even the people were not able to help him out. But then the king saw this elephant and he told his soldiers to bring the trumpets which was blown during the war. And when the trumpets were bought, and we could see that the soldiers were blowing the trumpets high, and the elephant heard these trumpets and gathered a kind of motivation from inside. A war cry happened in that elephant and it slowly but steadily came out of that mud. It is your small recognitions, my dear Toastmasters, which makes leaders. It is your rewards which bring up talents. A humble person like me could start up a small initiative which could bring a lot of change in an organization where we could see people smiling. If I can do this, everyone else can do that as well. So let us bring smiles in a lot of people's faces by recognizing, and converting it into great, wholesome rewards. Back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari. And we are expecting some more rewards and recognition from you. Our sixth speaker, the last speaker, not least, is going to deliver from Pathways Level 4 Project 1. This speech will be evaluated by our Area 6 Director, Toastmaster Sunny Kurivilla. Could you please explain the objective of this project?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, and ebullient greetings to you all. Today, the speaker is going to deliver his L4P1 project from Presentation Mastery Path, Managing Difficult Audience. The title of the speech is, Are We in a Race? Time 10 to 15 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he or she presents outside of the Toastmaster Club. Wish you all the best, speaker, to have a very difficult audience Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunny Kurila. The next speaker is a dedicated and hard-working leader of TAJ Toastmaster Club. An ever-smiling personality. Professionally, he is a ceramic engineer in Saudi Ceramic Company. Current VP of membership of TAJ and CSR manager of District 79. Triple Crown winner. He is in Riyadh, living in Riyadh with his wife and daughter. Let me welcome with a thunder of applause Toastmaster Jijo Koshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Are you seeing some resemblance in this moment? Running race? You suddenly hear, you're waiting to go. On your mark, get set, go. All are running. And you see around, no one is there. What kind of a situation you will be in when you find you're running without any competitors? Have you been in that situation before? Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guest, a warm greeting to all. It's my own story, my life, where I had a very special issue which I recently solved. I would like to share with you. From my early childhood days, 4th grade, I had a friend. Her name is Anu. Now, Anu is my best friend. We used to play together. Sometimes we got married during the play. Have you experienced that? We used to do everything together. Eating, sometimes late night studies, everything was going well. We were enjoying the time. But something else was cooking around. Guess what? Our parents, they were not bothered about our friendship. They were looking at how we were studying. Sounds similar, right? Marks. Everything the parents got to do is, what is your marks? They started comparing me with Anu. Now, Anu was the perfect one in the class. And yours truly, everybody just said, okay, he's fine. And the competition started. Me and Anu. She got 80. I got 78. She got 90. I got 85. I was playing. But my parents, every day when I'm back home, Jijo, she got 90. You got 85. I don't know how to explain this situation. 85 and they were not happy. I tried more. We went to 10th standard. In 10th, she got 85. I got 83. Dead close. I was happy. I was close enough. Parents, she again defeated you. My God. I don't know what to do with this situation. Have you experienced this situation at home? I'm sure you must have seen this situation. Things changed. I went for my diploma. She also went for diploma. I was happy. Good, she's not going to school and we're all in the same college. Things were going well. Again, neck to neck marks at every point. neck to neck. I don't know what to do.
Toastmaster Jijo.
Yes, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Without comparing, how you can improve? See, comparison is required. Otherwise, you will stay where you are.
Yeah. Thank you for the point. I will work on that. Thank you. Okay, going ahead. Then we started working more and more. I was happy. We are at the same level.
Host, why
As you
can't
rightly
you
said,
spotlight evaluator, so that we can all see the
noted,
evaluator also.
Toastmaster Manas. Thank you for that point. Thank you, Manas. Okay, going ahead. What happened is, she and me both are going very well. I finished my diploma. She finished her diploma. Everything set. Guess what? Engineering. I got a free seat. She too got a free seat. Things became more difficult for me. I still did not win over her. This was my weakness, weak area.
What was your weak area?
Yeah, Toastmaster Nandu. I could not beat her. That was the weak
Why?
area.
Why you cannot beat?
I'm
You can
still
do it.
trying. You'll know why very soon. Thank you, Toastmaster Nandu, for highlighting that point. So, as I said, at every point, she was defeating me. And I had to win one or the other day, which I decided I will do.
Were you losing to her or was she defeating you?
She was not. I'll come back to your point, Mr. Mohammed. So, as I said, she was doing her best, and I gave even more better work for getting that target.
I disagree with your points regarding this issue. I'm really disappointed for you that because you are loving that girl. That's the reason you are not. You are defeating that girl.
Love is a subject which I should not discuss. That is all hidden subjects, Mr. Sunil. Thank you for the point, but I will come back to that later. So, coming to the instance where the engineering was going to finish, I wanted to win and I won. I defeated her in engineering. I got the first rank in my class. I won. Finally, I won. I came to Saudi Arabia. Got a nice job. I came to Saudi Arabia and everything was set. Got my car, got my house, everything was set.
Did you erect any machinery?
It was not clear. Can you repeat it, Mr. Mohammed?
Yeah, I asked, did you erect any machinery, plant or anything?
Yes. Thank you for the point. So as Mohammed said, I came to Saudi Arabia and I started working in a company where I erected a machinery and I was successful in that as well. And when I went back home, I used to call, hello? My friends, I used to call my friends and ask, how's Anu doing? Has she settled down in life? And the other friends, I called up and said, is she working somewhere or just like that, she got married and something else? They used to say, she's good, she's married, she's a professor in a college, she's well settled.
I believe, Jijo, you have some jealous on her.
Noted, Toastmaster Shijamon. Everyone will have a similar situation. It's not me alone who is in this boat. We are all in the same boat. Everyone is jealous of this situation. It's not because of you alone. It's because of your parents. It's because of your community. It's because of the society. It has framed you like that. You will come into a frame of mind where you will run behind marks. Is it what you wanted from life? Toastmaster Shijomon, I'm asking you, did you want to be a safety professional at that point? No. Toastmaster Mateen, did you want to be an investor? No. Toastmaster Mahesh, you want to be a sportsman, right? But you are a safety person today. What was the reason you did not achieve your target? What you wanted to become? Everybody says, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a doctor. How many succeed in that? Probably Dr. Sundar wanted to be a medicine MBBS student, but he ended up in BDS. That was not his target. Situation made him do that. Situation we create, situation we make around ourselves. Are we in a race? This is the question I want to ask you. Are we in a race with our near ones? We are not seeing what we want. Are we not? We are running behind the next person. Every Malayali or a Keralite is bothered what's cooking in the next house. Most of you are Malayalis. And that's the only thing we think about. What car has he got? What is the latest TV he has got? This is all we are bothered. Is it not? This is because we just bother about others. Friends, hello Toastmasters. This is the race we should not have, or we should not follow. The race with your close ones is not what you have to do. You have to see what you need in your life. What did you want to achieve? I never wanted to be a ceramic engineer. It was my parents who pushed me. Chicho, uncle said, go for engineering in ceramics. Where is that uncle? Today I'm not seeing him. He assured me of a job in Dubai, but I'm struggling in Saudi Arabia. This is our life. Because we run behind others. Let's run behind our choices. The other day, I went to my operations manager. I told him, for the last 1 year, I am not doing what I want. I have been forced to do something that my manager wants. This is not what I'm wasting my time. I would rather do something that will be more productive to the company. And he was happy. Guess what? He was really happy. He said, thanks for coming out with this. I was looking for a person like you for this role. Friends, fellow Toastmasters, it's not late to do what you really want to do. Go for it. It may work, it might not work, but at least you will say, or you will feel satisfied. I tried. The try, it's all in the try. Let's not follow the race. Let's go and win it. Then you will find many others following you. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dijo Koshi, for the wonderful speech, and you gave the chance for us to disturb you purposefully. With this, we completed the first session, the prepared speech session. Timer, please confirm that all speakers are qualified.
Yes, all speakers are qualified.
Thank you, Timer. Now, the time for vote counter. Vote counter, please start the procedure for voting.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I'll be sharing the link shortly.
Thank you. The meantime, I will repeat the quotes, the words from Amitabh Bachchan. Change is the nature of life, but challenge is the future of life. So challenge the changes, never change the challenges. I hope all of you enjoyed the session of prepared speech. Now we will move to the next session, the evaluation. This session will be done by the general evaluator. Today, we have an eminent personality, highly motivated leader. Our club president, Toastmaster, Dr. Mahesh Pillai will be the evaluator, the general evaluator of the day. Thank you, and back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Once again, good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. evaluation is one of the interesting or one of the fruitful areas of this meeting, because here we will be evaluating ourselves, the speeches, how we did the meetings and all. So in general evaluation, first we'll start with the prepared speech evaluations, then we'll move on to the reports of the meeting leaders, and I'll provide my evaluation of the meeting as a whole. As we are running short of time, I'll straight away go to the prepared speech evaluation. We are just a small change in the order of evaluation. The first evaluation will be for Toastmaster Nandu Kotarat's DTM project. To conduct this evaluation, we have an eminent Toastmaster. He already introduced him when he gave the speech, so I'm not going to introduce him again. Let me welcome our Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari, to conduct the evaluation of Toastmaster Nandu's project. Toastmaster Manas, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai. A speaker is said to be successful when he is able to trigger thought process in the audience. Then we all think through the time on what we did during those COVID-19 days when Toastmaster Nandu said about the strategy to survive. He was very detailed in the dates, giving on what happened on March 4th, what happened on March 19th, when the lockdown happened. It was so detailed. And that speaks a lot about his financial analysis ability as a leader. Amazing job. As a speaker, when he said sales dropped down to 10%, I'm visualizing him doing this presentation in front of his boss, wherein he would be using the Toastmastering gestures to show the impact of that sales drop down of 10%. It would be very, very unique as a finance personnel to do that. And he did it very nice. The use of voice modulation when he said about the tense situation, should we cut down salaries or should we terminate employees, and all those in total nail-biting situation was created through his initial phase of the speech. Didn't you feel that it was a well-scripted speech with a great opening, coming into the main body where his plan lied, and then an exciting ending where he said, okay, wait and watch my speech number 2 to learn more about what I did. That was interesting, a very unique way to present a DTM project. Each phase he explained of his plan. The entire plan was very clear and crisp. And he explained each phase of his plan in a very subtle manner, and he just moved away from it. Now, considering this is a DTM project and he has completed a lot of speeches in Toastmastering, he could have incorporated an incident which happened during any one of those phases of your planning and told us a small story during the planning process, which was always unforgettable in your mind. A small correlation to Toastmastering in your DTM project would also have been very helpful for the Toastmasters to understand what role did Toastmasters play in your DTM project. If you have taken these 2 recommendations of mine, if you could accept these 2 recommendations of mine and keep up the same great work in enhancing your voice modulation, scripting of your speeches, speech would go up to the next level. And I wish you all success for your DTM ship. Thank you. I'm back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manas, for that outstanding evaluation. Now, to conduct the evaluation of Toastmaster Mohammad Shakir's speech, Level 1, Project 3, we have our champion evaluator. We have introduced him also during the prepared speeches. So let me welcome our champion evaluator, our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. Dr. Sundar, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Never stop learning, for in the words of Henry Ford, anyone who stops learning is old, and anyone who is still learning is still young. What a great way to begin a speech and end a speech. Kudos to my speaker, Toastmaster Shakir, for presenting a well-researched, a well-thought-out, and a well-presented speech. He started off with this opening and the conclusion, as I mentioned to you earlier. In between, it was pure jewels. There were 10 jewels that were actually brought in from the book Josh Kaufman, The First 20 Hours of Learning Everything. It was as if the book was shown right in front of us. We were just reading through the pages, courtesy Toastmaster Mohammad Shakir. It was indeed a project, a speech that fulfilled all the objectives. Very well researched, had a great opening, a great conclusion, and for all those 10 points which Toastmaster Shakir was explaining to us, he was giving out examples. These were what I mentioned to you as the real jewels of his speech. And finally, he went on to say that it is all about being predictive and being a critical thinker, which makes you learn and live a better life. What a way to start a speech, transition to the body, and end it in such a way that the message is conveyed to the audience. Great way for that one, Toastmaster Shakir. Hats off to you. Toastmaster Shakir, I know that you never stop learning and you are still young to learn. So let me give you some more points, few more jewels to make you younger, shine brighter. So first off, you start off with those 10 points and you were explaining us all those 10 points in detail. And then finally, you emphasized on those 2 key points, which is about being predictive and critical thinking. Had you put them all, those 10 points in one slide and highlighted these 2 points in a bigger slide, this itself will be a way of non-visual communication of emphasizing what you wanted to do. Now, how it looked is like you are doing a monotonous 10-slide presentation, and then finally you are emphasizing this. This may not be the right way to reach into your audience. So next time onwards, you can actually try doing this. Put those 10 points in one slide and these 2 on a bigger slide, or probably you can do a non-visual or a visual aid that can show how important these 2 values are. That's predicting, being predictive and being a critical thinker. The second thing is like you are, I'm sure, that an improving communicator, but your voice wasn't monotone. So when you are trying to talk about those great values in life, that is being predictive and critical thinking, how it lets you learn, live better, and be a bigger person than what you are. So this is where you could actually modulate your voice, increasing the speed, increasing the tone, the pitch, everything could have been done. And then the third thing that I would suggest to you is to stop the screen share, probably, because you know when you went to the end point of your presentation, you are actually showing the same slide and then going over and over. So at that point, because this is a prop, but your presentation as a speaker is a larger than life image that we always look forward to. Overall, it was a great speech, well presented, level 3, project 3 from level 1 in research and presenting, but with these improvements wherein you weigh which is more important in your speech and bring it forward to your audience, and then doing a bit of voice modulation, I'm sure you are a champion speaker in the making. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, for that perfect evaluation. Now, to conduct the next evaluation of Toastmaster Mohammad Mateen, Level 2 Project 1 speech, we have an eminent leader who is from the Darbhanga city, the state of Bihar, staying in Saudi Arabia for the last 8 years and currently working as a QC manager in Middle East Fiber Cable Company in Riyadh. He has his parents and family members and a lovely wife. He's a BTech graduate from JNTU Hyderabad, and he had the privilege of serving as a president of Students Union in his engineering college. And also, he is new to Toastmasters, but within a short period of time, he has become a member of 3 or 4 Toastmaster clubs, and Toastmaster became his passion, and he has completed level 1, a path in pathways, and he has started the next path. And he's also the Vice President membership of Grand Professional Toastmasters Club. Let me welcome Toastmaster Mohammed Hassan Hussain.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for this kind and generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a warm good evening to all of you. What best thing is than having a sport? That too, badminton. In this particular time where we are restricted to move outside. My speaker tonight, he reminded us of a sport that can keep us healthy as well as our mind and body fit without going outside. Today, we'll learn about a game, badminton, that is an indoor game. My speaker is a great storyteller. He brings his nostalgic days while he was playing badminton in his colony. It reminds us, all of us, our own childhood days. What a great energy that time we used to have. Play badminton, what a great peace of mind and body we used to get. That all you bring in to your story. As the purpose of your project was to present a story, you did it really well and you meet the objective of the project. Meanwhile, in the meantime of your speech, you added humor into it as well. That was also a great part of your speech, where you connected the audience and engaged your speech very well. And with the opening of speech, you move to the transition where you explain about the tidbits of the badminton game. All the technical details you have presented very well. Of course, it has been all of the audience here. You presented about the badminton rules, the points, how many we have, the number of players, number of rackets, what you explained very well all the details of the game, what it should be. That enhanced all the knowledge of all of us. And the best part was you ended your speech with a call of action, inviting all of us to be a badminton player and keep our mind and physique healthy. That was all the best part in your speech. You had used very well your body language during your speech. Your clarity of a speech, your body language, comfort level, eye contact, it was all very well, very nice and perfect. Something I would like to suggest you to add during your speech, if you can, to add some conversation in between. You can add some conversation in your badminton court when you meet many of our colleagues who are available here. That could make the speech more interesting and that could grab our attention more. As well as you can use your tones a little bit ups and down where it is supposed to be. And especially while you are concluding your speech with a call of action, you can use your voice, emphasize on that. Dear fellow Toastmaster, please join the badminton club. You can end up your speech with that tone. Overall, it was a great speech. With these recommendation, if you can add, it will be a great speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, for an amazing evaluation. Now, to evaluate the next speech of Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, Level 3, Project 3, we have another evaluator who has completed his MBA in Travel and Tourism Management from Pondicherry University. And we have seen that in this pandemic situation, he is helping people to manage their travels and helping people to come back to Saudi Arabia. And he is a dynamic leader, and he works as a senior travel specialist in Almarai company. Let me welcome Toastmaster Karnagaran Ramachandran. Toastmaster Karnagaran, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for your warm welcome. Being able to effectively communicate is one of the most important life skills. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, once again. And I would like to thank you, my speaker, Dr. Sundar, because the topic itself was very intriguing. Even I was fumbling when I was introducing the topic. Communicate to change, communicate to evolve. Interesting topic, actually. A lot of meaning is there in the topic itself. We can understand a lot of things. How I'm going to evaluate? I would like to evaluate based on Mr. Dan Oswald quotation. Communication must be hot. That is honest, open, and two-way. Let us go to his speech. The speech, what I was saying is it was a periodical data or some period it happened, like it was evolving from one stage to another stage, from 2002 to 2004 to 2005. What happened? He started his clinic and he learned. In there also, in that story, another important point which I like is the empathetic communication to the patient. Why it is very important? A word can heal, a word can kill. Think about doctor. Doctor can cure the patient with his word also. If his word is changing, if the communication is not effective, the patient may take a different effect in his health. So doctors also need effective communication. That's what my speaker understands very clearly, and he was evaluating himself what was his position. So he came into the 2005 period and he analyzed, that itself another skill, which is what is our limitation? Accepting that limitation and changing the situation completely to learn something new. So he jumped into Saudi Arabia and he was forcing himself, he was involving himself to the roasting position, and he came into the Toastmaster platform. And what was his hesitation, or what he faced because of the procrastination or missing of effective communication? He learned everything and he implemented. Then success story starts. So from the failure, the evaluation coming to the success. So he was testing the success because of his successful communication. He was using various resources. WhatsApp group he created, and he created a Google form. He knows who is the audience and he connected the dots properly so that everyone comes, because we know that what he did. So we were able to easily glue with his speech. That was a wonderful point. I actually liked it very much. Then at the end of his speech, he was telling that what success he tasted and what was the benefits. And he also connected the dot backward, that after learning the skill, what was the missings? That also he displayed very clearly. So all these two stages, the first stage of honest and second stage of open, it is okay. So as a suggestion, what I would say is the last one, two-way communication. There was chances in this communication, the small humor could have been added and two-way communication would have been added. Then the speech would evaluate in a better position also. Overall, the speech was very nice. I congratulate my speaker and thank you. Over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karnagaran, for that excellent evaluation. Now the next speech of Toastmaster Manas al-Bukhari's DTM project second speech will be evaluated by none other than myself. Once again, good evening, everybody. Toastmaster Manas, it was not just a DTM project. It was a training for all of us on how motivation and awards and rewards can change the culture in an organization. You are a great motivator and an excellent storyteller. You have all the qualities of a public speaker because you have a magical power of grabbing the audience attention from the beginning and throughout your speech. Because you are a natural storyteller. Everyone likes stories. And especially it comes from the personal experience and all. You started how you changed or how you wanted to implement a motivation strategy in your organization and what was the problem you faced. And from there, you changed your plan and it became successful. And you managed to change aspect and you presented it in a perfect way. And your voice was clear and you're a public speaker who's always been understood in a very clear manner. You're smiling. That shows how well you're prepared and how confident you were. And the speech craft was amazing. A great opening, body, and you added stories in between, which will make sure that all the audience attention will be towards you throughout your speech. Even though it was a lengthy speech of 10 minutes, you never lost the audience attention. That was the amazing power you have. And you told how motivational strategies can be used in an organization. And I'm sure all of us will be thinking the same to implement in our organization as well, because everybody like a pat at the back. And with positive motivation, we can change the people. Toastmasters, Manasa, I'd like to give you one recommendation. It's not a recommendation, it's a request. That you could have added a bit more elaborate on how it positively affected your organization. You explained it, but that would have been a great learning experience for all of us. Overall, it was a great speech, well constructed, well delivered, and all the audience were glued to your speech throughout. And with this single recommendation, this is just a request rather than a recommendation to get more information from such a great successful project which changed the culture of the organization and which can be implemented in other organizations as well. That will have added more value to your speech. And overall, it was, and as you say, an amazing speech. Back to the general evaluator. Thank you so much. Now, the last evaluation, the last speech evaluation of Toastmaster Jijo Koshi's speech. It will be conducted, it will be done by another great leader. He is a chartered accountant by profession. He's working as a financial controller in the Middle East fiber cable manufacturing company. He's the past president of TAJ. I won't say past president of TAJ. He is the person who gave a second life to TAJ. And he is the current Area 6 director. Then we call our dynamic leader or Area 6 director, Toastmaster Sunny Kurula, to do the evaluation of Toastmaster Jijo Koshi's speech. Toastmaster Sunny, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Chief Evaluator, for that generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, very warm good evening to you all. Special greetings to that speaker who is still sweating because of the difficult audience. Speaker started his speech without speaking anything. By a virtual running, looking right, looking left, he made the impression that he is in a race without uttering a single word. Then slowly the speaker came to the subject. He explained the sweet competition between himself and Miss Anu. What I felt, based on the number, Anu gets 80 and speaker gets 78, little short. Next, 90, 85, 85, 83. What I felt is the speaker gave in to win something great, bigger. At times we need to lose something. And in graduation, he proved his worth. first rank holder. Thank you. Congratulations for that thing. And competition, by the way, I don't feel that it is something bad. Competition is required. And at least we need to compete to ourselves. When we compete to ourselves, everybody else will support us. The problem will start only when you start competing with others and people will be against. And the speech was with a lot of questions, wonderful questions from different category of speakers or disturbers or somebody. But I felt the questions were not so fierce that person will be sweating or the speaker will be finding it difficult to answer. And only one point I could not understand from all episodes is, after he reached Saudi Arabia, instead of calling Anu and asking a long-time friend, what are you doing? Where are you working? He started finding it out from somebody else. That means it is an untold portion, which probably he will explain to us in our next speech. Going to the core evaluation, let me say a few suggestions. The topic is handling a difficult audience. Difficult audience means somebody is getting affected. Somebody is against you because of your decision, your action. Somebody is losing something and they raise their protest. That is the difficult. But here the questions people were asking, I could imagine their smile. They were also in their back college days and enjoying the seat memories, not with Anu, but somebody else. And it was not affected for all people, and maybe I feel it is better to avoid talking about any particular profession or race like Malayalis. Otherwise, it was really enjoyable. It was good, enjoyed. What do you do? Evaluate.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunny, for that outstanding evaluation. Now we'll go for the meeting leader roles. Dear meeting leaders, please provide your report in 1 minute. First, as we are running short of time, please provide your report in 1 minute. First, I would like to call our word master, Toastmaster Abdul Nasir. Toastmaster Abdul Nasir.
Good evening, General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, only few Toastmasters use this word. Dr. Mahesh Pillai and TM Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam, Jijo Mohan, and Karnagaran. That's all.
Thank you.
General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abdul Nazir, for that detailed report. Now I'd like to call our counter Toastmaster Sunil Idikula.
Point of order, General Evaluator, are all evaluators qualified for voting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Timer, all the evaluators are qualified?
Yes, all evaluators are qualified.
Your vote counter, please share the link. While the voting is going on, Toastmaster Sunil, please provide your counter report.
Good evening once again, Toastmaster, General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. Today's session was very great session, and there was less accounts are available in this meetings. Only few people are use some unnecessary sounds, like Toastmaster Muhammad Mateen. He used twice, and Toastmaster Nandu, he used and several times, and Toastmaster Sunny Kurula, he used and twice. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Shah Counter, Toastmaster Sunil. Now I'd like to call our grammarian, Toastmaster Mohammad Iqbal Qasim, for his report.
Good evening, everybody. So as a grammarian, I have found very few improper usages of the word. Like the word ensure, not it's like it has to be pronounced like ensure. Previous our life, it can be our previous life. Lots of commitments, it can be lots of commitment. Contacted with marketing, it can be told as it can be said as contacted marketing simply. Dead close can be like close to death. Apart from that, there were special codes. Change in nature of life and challenge is the future of life. Critical thinking is shortcut to life. Another saying, anyone who stops learning is an old man. If you are there to win, and you should be there to lose. Strategy to survive, communicate to change, communicate to evolve, and the special words used today ensure, amazing, effective learning, strategy, rationally, key takeaway, reluctant, hesitant, procrastinate, enthusiastic, reward, enable, super excited, fumbled, strive, prediction, and critical thinking. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammad Iqbal, for that great evaluation. So for the great report, grammarian report. Now, I'd like to call our timer, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam, for his report.
Please make a co-host to share my report.
You can share the screen.
You are the co-host.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters. You are the wonderful leaders because every prepared speaker and evaluators maintain and control the time management. Here is my reports. The first speakers, Toastmaster Muhammad Shagir, took 6 minutes 50 seconds qualified. The second speaker, Muhammad Mateen, 6 minutes 5 seconds. And third speaker, Toastmaster Nandu Kotarat, 7 minutes 16 seconds. And fourth speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, 7 minutes 27 seconds qualified. And fifth speaker, Toastmaster Manas Al Bugari, 9 minutes 31 seconds. The final speaker, Toastmaster Gigi Kosi, 12 minutes 5 seconds qualified. Next, in the evaluation session, the first evaluator, Toastmaster Manas Al Bugari, 3 minutes 18 seconds qualified. The second evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, 3 minutes 23 seconds qualified. And third evaluator, Toastmaster Hassan Gusen, 3 minutes 27 seconds qualified. And the fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Karnakaran, 3 minutes 28 seconds qualified. And the next evaluator, Toastmaster Dr. Magesh Pillai, 3 minutes 13 seconds qualified. And final evaluator, Toastmaster Sunny Kurula, 3 minutes 25 seconds qualified. Back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam, for that detailed report. Now we have completed the meeting leaders report. While I provide my general evaluation about the meeting, I request the ward counter to share. It's already shared. Please vote for the best meeting leader. I really appreciate today's meeting. We started exactly at 7:15. That's one of the great achievements. And Sergeant at Arms, as usual, he started with great energy, introduced the presiding officer, and presiding officer appreciated the last week winners and invited the guests. Also invited the word master and handed over the Toastmaster of the day. And Toastmaster of the day conducted the meetings in a perfect manner, even though we had like 6 prepared speeches. We are a bit delayed only by 2 minutes. That was not that's something which we can manage, which we can cover up in the next sessions. And then the evaluation session. You see the speeches and the evaluations today, the time taken by each speakers and the evaluator. They have used the maximum time allowed for them, and none of them are disqualified. That shows how they are professional and how they can manage the time and express their views and evaluations and speeches on time using the maximum time which is allotted to them. That shows how professional TAJ Toastmasters Club is conducting the meeting, how professional are the leaders and the members of TAJ Toastmasters are. And I'd like to thank the Vice President Education for managing 6 speeches, 6 evaluations, and because we need education awards. Thank you for making such a perfect agenda. It shows that we are on time. That shows your agenda, whatever you plan, is going well. Thank you, VP Education. And only thing is, I'll request VP Education is to make sure that the time for each speech has to be mentioned correctly in the agenda when you prepare it. Overall, it was a great speech and perfectly timed, perfectly managed. And one of the great thing is there is not technical glitches. Our people are expert in technical aspects of Zoom as well. So in overall, TAJ is TAJ in every aspect. And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the valuable comments and evaluation. Dear Toastmasters, you cannot spell challenge without change. If you are going to rise the challenge, you must be prepared to change. Be thankful for every new challenge. Each will give you more strength, wisdom, and personality, new world. Dear Toastmasters, I urge you all, be ready to meet the challenge and evolve your personality to the next level. With this note, I would like to conclude. I really enjoyed to be a Toastmaster of the evening. I'm thanking to the ExCom and handing over the baton to the presiding officer, Dr. Mahesh Pillai.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shijamon Jose, for conducting such a perfect session. Dear Toastmasters and guests, let's give him a big round of applause. Before I summarize the meeting, I'll request our vote counter to share the meeting, the link for the best of week 3. And thank you, Dr. Sundar. Now I'd like to call our guest, Mr. Suryakant, to give a feedback, a 1-minute feedback about the meeting today.
Sorry I was in the mute. I think it was a great speech by everyone, and it requires a lot of attention. I saw that everybody giving speeches, and at the same time everybody is attentive, and it's not easy. It requires a lot of mindfulness and a lot of attention to not only give speech and also evaluate all the speeches. So I think it was very nice.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suryakant, for that valuable feedback.
Yeah.
Now, dear Toastmasters, now we have only 3 more weeks left to complete this program here, as I mentioned in the beginning of this meeting.
24, sir.
Yes, please.
There was another guest also available, Noor Muhammad.
No issue, but very amazing. In first time, I don't have any words to explain my expression. Anyway, I'm first time attending this type of event. Anyway, it will be more useful, and it will motivate me to do the best in my life. Thank you very much for your session.
Thank you so much, Sunil. Thank you so much, Sunil, for reminding me. We also have, as I said, like 3 weeks left. Please complete your projects. It's a chance for you to get a triple crown. If you complete 3 levels, you can get your triple crown. Please contact Toastmaster Dr. Sundar and arrange the speech slots. If you want additional speech slots, you can manage in other clubs as well. And also, another announcement, we are now our magazine editor, Toastmaster Sunil Edukula, is collecting the articles. Please share your articles with Toastmaster Sunil. I think the last day is 10th of June. So please send your articles to Toastmaster Sunil. And vote counter, the results are ready?
Yes, Mr. President.
Can you please share?
So let us now look forward. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Let us now look forward to the results of today's meeting. Let's see who are the winners. For the best prepared speech, the best evaluator was Master Sundar. The best meeting leader, Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal Qasim, our grammarian. And for the best of the big three, our Toastmaster of the day. Congratulations to all the winners. Back to you, Presiding Officer.
Congratulations, all the winners. Any other announcement to be made today?
I just have one announcement.
Yes, Doctor.
With your permission. Yeah, as the President, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As our Presiding Officer, Dr. Mahesh said, that we are just having 3 more weeks to go before we complete this program year. So if you are looking forward to present any of your speech projects, complete levels, so that you have an accomplishment, please feel free to contact me. We will make sure that speaking slots are arranged. If needed, we can actually go for similar meeting agendas, having 6 speakers in every meeting, skipping out the table topic session. Or in the worst case scenario, we can even arrange a speaker-thon where we can go even up to 16 or 20 speakers and make sure that we are able to accomplish our targets for this program year. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sundar. And we need 2 more members for this month. So please bring guests, and we already have 2 guests. And please share the word of Toastmasters. Let them also be benefited by the Toastmasters. And with that, I request Toastmaster Dr. Sundar to play the national anthem.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. I request every one of you to rise up for the national anthem.
Thank you so much, and the meeting is now officially adjourned. And once again, I really appreciate all of you to finish the meeting before time. And we fulfill our commitment, which we said in the beginning of the year: we start meetings and finish meetings on time. Time is money. Time is valuable. Now the stage is open for any discussion.
YouTube.
Sir, please, all Toastmasters, please arrange that article. And also, when I talked to personally by phone, I asked for everyone, for your kids, any drawings or any articles from your kids' side. Also, you can add it for that. So please don't forget the time limit. It's on 10th of this month. So once we get all the things, so you can send it by my WhatsApp number, or I want to share my email ID or something, that you can say that.
Point of order, can we switch off the live YouTube?